Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about 6 names and warriors that I really love and I think they're super awesome and fun to say, and then 5 names that I don't quite love, and for various reasons we'll get into. So, the 6 that I love, first is number 6 is Golden Flower, and basically how I'm judging these is just how poetic and nice they sound, also possibly how well they fit the cat, and just how much creativity and flow they have to them, and just, I don't know, whatever vibes with me. So Golden Flower, I think, is a really nice name. Obviously, she's early on in the series, but obviously it fits her appearance well, and it's just really pretty. It seems like it goes very nice and flows together. They're 2 long words, but they still fit. So that's my number 6. Number 5 is Amber Moon, and I've always really liked her and her name for no particular reason because she's done like absolutely nothing. The only thing I remember about her is, ooh, she got killed by an owl, but like, I don't think she did a single thing. But Amber Moon is really nice and interesting as a name, and I just think it's cool. Like, you can picture like a moon that appears to be that color. It also fits well for her appearance. So I think it's a really unique, creative name that I haven't heard any other name really with Amber, but combining that with Moon, I think that's my number 5 slot. Number 4 is Echo Song, just because it sounds so cool. Like, it's so poetic, and I believe Vicky even said once, oh, it sounds so human, and it does, but I think it looks really nice. She's a very pretty, striking cat to begin with. She was, I believe, a Sky Clan medicine cat, and but it just sounds like you're like singing into a cave and it's echoing a bunch, and I think that's really cool. Number 3 is Float Shimmer, who is probably a character you've never heard of because she's like just introduced in the most recent book, The Elder's Quest, and she's done absolutely nothing either except be born, and now she's a mother, which seems like a really fast turnaround, and I'm not even sure she's a year old yet, but I don't know if that's a contingency issue or what, but anyway, she exists, she has her full name somehow, and it's a nice name. Again, it's long, it's maybe slightly clunky, which means it's on number 3, Float Shimmer, but it's very cool, very River Clan. It's the most River Clan thing I've heard, honestly. And I can picture that really well. Like, a cat floating in the river and the river reflecting and shimmering, and I think it's very cool and poetic. Number 2 is Froston, and it took a lot of restraint not to put this in number 1, because I think most people who watch the channel know I love Froston. But I'm not judging this on character, I'm judging this on name. And I really love this name because it's beautiful. And I like how the prefix and suffix are very different, and the frost melts into the dawn, it melts into something warmer, which is sort of very symbolic of Froston's arc. And when this book came out, she was, of course, the last one not to get her name in Star, and I was waiting and waiting to see what her name would be, and when I turned the page and got the Froston, I was like, yeah, that's a great name right there, and it just fits her so well, so that's my number 2 spot. And for just sheer prettiness, Chasing Clouds is a number 1, which, again, you're probably like, who on earth is Chasing Clouds? To be honest, I don't really know either. He is an ancient, I believe he was in the time traveling scene with Jay Feather in Power 3, but don't quote me on that. Whoever he is, he's got a really nice name, and all this art is from the Warriors Wiki. So he may look a little funky, but he, it's really cool, and it sounds like such an awesome concept for a cat's name. And you can picture like a cat like this, especially since he looks gray and white, kind of like clouds, like running along an open field, chasing clouds. So I just really like that name, and if I were making a story about some random cat, if some random cat warrior should get a novella, it's Chasing Clouds, simply because he has a cool name. Alright, moving on. 5 names I don't love, and it's funny because these all have very different reasons for these, and some of them are honestly so funny that I sort of do love them, but whatever they are, they're not very poetic, so let's move on. Number 5, Flight of the Startled Heron. Obviously, the tribe cats have different names, but for some reason, this just struck my funny bone. I just thought it was really hilarious because, like, imagine naming this tiny, innocent kid. Oh, look, it's Flight of the Startled Heron. And it's like, obviously she would be shortened to Flight, but I have no idea who this cat is, what they've ever done. But I don't know. I don't vibe with this name, except that I do kind of think it's funny to name a cat such a very specific name. So number 4 is Foxheart, and I think we all knew this was coming, because to a non-Warriors fan, you'd be like, hey, what's wrong with that? Well, to a Warriors fan would know that this is like a derogatory curse word in Warrior Cat language, and so I'm no fan of Foxheart, but no one deserves to be named after a curse word. That's just sad. And I believe it was Pine Star, maybe, who named her this. So yeah, I don't know what you were thinking there, bud. Clearly the rest of the clan was annoyed with her too to name her this, but yeah, Foxheart is not the best name for a cat in this world. Number 3 is Gravelnose, which sounds like a Sky Clan name, but I don't believe it is. Gravelnose, I don't know who named this cat this, but like, it just gives me the image of this poor little guy getting his face like shoved into a bunch of gravel, and he getting like his nose all banged up, and I don't know, that you're going into battle, it's like, fear me, I am Gravel Nose. Not the greatest name in my opinion, but it is amusing. Number 2 is Bug Eater, which again, his name is Bug Eater, but perhaps he gets a bit of a pass because he is part of Warrior Clan. We all know that Warrior Clan has crazy names. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I kind of love it because that totally sounds like a kitty pet name when they're pretending to be a warrior cat, but it's still not a very heroic or emboldening name, such as Fireheart, oh, I am Bug Eater. And number 1 is the infamous Riley Pool, which I just had to put this one on number 1 because when I think of absurd Sky Clan names, I think of Riley Pool. And there's nothing, I understand the history behind it, but that still doesn't make it any less funny because, Sky Clan has their own special way of doing names, and again, to an outside person, this would sound like something that perhaps a 5th grader role-playing Warrior Cats would come up with for themselves. So yes, that is the 6 names I really like and the 5 I don't so much. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want me to do more videos like this, feel free to subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye.